Hello everyone, my name is Meenakshi and today we will discuss the next topic of measurement of national income. We will cover three topics here in this video. First one is the expenditure method of measuring the national income. Second is the real and nominal GDP, and last but not the least, that is GDP and welfare. So first of all, we will discuss about expenditure method. Expenditure method, in expenditure method we will calculate four main components to measure the GDP at market price. The first component is private final consumption expenditure. Private final consumption expenditure means how much total expenditure done by the private sector in one accounting year. Second component is gross government final consumption expenditure. Government, how much government has spent, how much government consumed in one accounting year as a final consumption, that is known as the government final consumption expenditure. The third factor or the third component is gross domestic capital formation. It means how much total capital formation formed in one accounting year. And the fourth one is the net exports. Net exports we will measure from export minus import, and net exports means how much we are trading with other countries, how much exports are there, and we will subtract import from there. It will become the net exports. We'll take some precautions while estimating. These are: identify, first of all you identify the sources of final expenditure and classify them as private final consumption expenditure, government final consumption expenditure, and gross domestic capital formation and net exports. If net export, if net domestic capital formation is given, add depreciation to it to get gross domestic capital formation. If domestic fixed capital formation is given, add change in stock to get domestic capital formation. The third step is add all these four factors and get GDP at market price. Then for getting NDP at market price, we need to subtract the depreciation from GDP at market price. Then subtract NIT from NDP at market price. We will get NDP at factor cost, and in last we will add NFIA to NDP at factor cost. We will get NNP at factor cost. This NNP at factor cost is known as national income. In this way we will measure the national income with expenditure method through following these steps. Next we will I will explain some precautions that should be taken while calculating national income via expenditure method. These precautions are: the expenditure on intermediate goods should not be included. The expenditure on second-hand goods and scraps should not be included, but the expenditure made on the broker service as commission can be included. The expenditure on transfer payment should not be included. The expenditure on illegal activities should not be included. The expenditure on products produced through leisure time activities and non-market activities should not be included. I already told you in the last video that we are not adding the non-market activities or the non-monetary affairs in the national income. So all the leisure time activities are not included in the national income or in the GDP. So these precautions you need to take whenever you calculate the national income via numerical method. Always take care all these points. Let's solve one numerical to understand how to solve the numerical portion in this with expenditure method. Here we need to find out the gross national product at market price by expenditure method. These items are given in crores: net exports, private final consumption expenditure, government final consumption expenditure, net domestic capital formation, consumption of fixed capital, net indirect taxes, and net factor income from abroad. We will first of all we will find how many main things, which main things are here. Private final consumption expenditure, government final consumption expenditure, gross domestic capital formation, and the net exports we need to count. So we will calculate it like this. Here first of all, write the formula: private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic capital formation plus net exports. Here private final consumption expenditure is given 400, government final consumption expenditure is 100, and gross domestic capital formation we need to find. We have here in this numerical we have net domestic capital formation, so we will add depreciation in it. It become 50 plus 10 is 60. This and net exports are given 10. So we have all these four items, add them, and we get the 570. This 570 is the GDP at market price. Now we need to find G and P at market price, so we will add NFIA in it. NFIA are minus 10, so the answer is 560 crore rupees as the gross national production at market price, which was asked in this numerical. So in this way we will solve the numerical and do practice, so that you understand how to solve all these things with the one numerical only. Our next main topic here are real GDP and nominal GDP. Real GDP refers to GDP at constant price, and constant prices happens only in the previous year or in the base year. So it is the value of goods and services produced in the current year, taking base year price into consideration. So when we multiply price of base year into quantity, it comes as real GDP. So real GDP we will find with this formula also: nominal GDP upon current price index into 100. Okay, so this formula you need to revise for the real GDP. For next is the nominal GDP. Nominal GDP is the market value of all final goods and services produced in a country in a year. Increase in price will lead to increase in nominal GDP. Nominal GDP we will find with output into current year price. Current year price means present year price. We will multiply present year price with the output, it become the nominal GDP. So what is the difference between the real GDP and nominal GDP? It's very clear. In real GDP we are taking the prices of base year and multiply them with the quantity, and in the nominal GDP we will take the price of the current year only and multiply it with the output. Okay, only price of current year and the base year measure the inflation rate. This formula is used for as the GDP deflator. This GDP deflator means the gross domestic product deflator is a measure of general price inflation. How to measure the inflation? Inflation is the increase in prices day by day. So we measure the inflation with this GDP deflator. That is the formula is, if we divide nominal GDP with the real GDP and multiply with 100, it becomes the GDP deflator, and through this we can measure that what was the price in the base year and what is the price in the current year. So we can measure that how much inflation rate is increased. I hope you understand. Our next and most important topic of this chapter is GDP and welfare. Okay, students, tell me first, are you thinking whenever if GDP is increasing but welfare is not increasing? But or all have you ever seen that GDP is increasing but welfare is remaining constant? Yes, it's possible because there are some reasons that whenever the GDP of any country is increasing but the welfare is not increasing or the development is not increasing, we will discuss some points over here that how it is possible. First of all, water system still exists in our country. You know, water system, in water system we are not doing any monetary activity, only goods are exchanged with goods. So if in any place or at any market the water system was existing, it means non-monetary affairs are there, are going on. So no, all the non-monetary affairs are not counted in the national income. So we can say that water system is the drawback or the not a good indicator for the welfare. Increase in the production of cigarette, for example, and liquor will lead to increase in GDP. What do you say? This cigarette and liquor are not good for our health. However, the production of these harmful goods reduce welfare. But one side it reduces welfare and the other side it creates GDP also, it creates production also. So we can say that if one thing is good for our country and that thing is not good for our health or society, how we can say that with the increase in GDP our welfare is also increasing. GDP ignores externalities. We'll discuss the externalities. If population increasing along with GDP, welfare will not be improved. You know, population, if population going day by day increasing and our GDP is also increasing, then the per capita income remain constant or it become low. So we can't say that if with the increase in population, GDP is also improving and welfare is also increasing. The other factor is increase in prices may lead to increase in GDP even if production does not increase. If price of any good increase, it means our GDP is showing increment, but production is not increasing, only prices are increasing. So we can't say that our welfare is also increasing with the increase in price. Unequal distribution of GDP will not improve welfare. You know, in our country, especially in underdeveloped countries where maximum population is living below poverty line and the very few persons are on the very higher ratio are very rich persons and the gap between this rich and poor is very wide. So we can't say that unequal distribution of GDP will improve the welfare, because if GDP is increasing it will affect on the rich persons, not the poor person. So these are the reasons why we can say that increase in GDP will not increase the welfare of the country. Now, what are the externalities? This question sometime came in 3 or 4 marks, so I want to discuss it again. Externalities are an economic activity can affect even those people who are not connected with it. It is called externality. These are negative externalities and there are positive externalities also. For example, negative externalities are negative effect and positive externalities are positive effect. Suppose many chemical industries came up in an area, it will cause pollution and the entire society will suffer. This will affect public welfare. It is negative externalities. Due to this pollution, so many people suffer from their health issues. So we can't say that with the increase of the chemical factories, the externalities are also increasing, but it will affect negatively on the health of those people. And on the other hand, If many firms came up in an area, transport, banking, health, and education facilities will develop. It will improve public welfare. It is positive externalities. So we can say that negative and positive externalities are not included in the national income. So all these are the reasons why we can say that with the increase of GDP, our welfare is not increasing. Especially in underdeveloped countries, we can say that there are so many reasons why, with the increase in GDP, always our poor people are not affected by that. They remain poor because of these reasons. Thank you so much. This is all about of today's chapter. This is full chapter of national income accounting with three methods, with GDP and welfare and GDP deflator. Thank you so much. I hope you understand, and please like and subscribe my channel and write in the comment box if you have any doubt. Thank you so much.